Scott, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, enjoying the weather?
Yeah, the weather's been lovely, to be fair, over the last week, mate. It's been really nice.
Can I ask you about your defence? A lot of people are talking about it at the moment with the stats looking incredible. How satisfying is it at the moment that you've got to that stage where you've been dubbed today the meanest defence in Europe?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think firstly, immensely proud of the team, and a lot of work, hard work's gone into that in terms of the work we've done since we've been here as a group. And I think, like always, I think I've constantly referenced it over the course of where we are currently in this season, that's not just down to a back five, including the keeper, really. That's the whole team. There's some principles, there's some traits in this team. One is a very good structure and how we structure different presses for different games. The players are engaged and they execute that very well. And then there's just some real raw habits and raw traits that give you a platform to go and do what we're doing currently. And like you said, I think it's pretty remarkable, really, that the goals we've conceded and the platform we give ourselves in games. So really, really pleased with that.
I mean, you've been surprised. I mean, they've been so effective.
Yeah, I probably have been surprised. I think that's very fair to say. Of course, as a coach, like anything, you lead into any game of football wanting to reduce the opposition to not conceding goals, and then on the flip side of that, you want to obviously try and score goals. And probably not been around a team who have obviously got the numbers what we've got and how solid we're looking currently. So, like I say, a lot of work whilst as coaches putting on a training field. At the end of it, it comes down to the players to go out there and do that. Tactically, they need to do it, but there needs to be an endeavour and a desire to do that as well. And we've got that in both phases at the moment.
And as you say, there's lots of work involved, but is there also maybe a special dynamic that you just, in a way, lucky that all those players come together at that given time along with the goalkeeper and it just works?
Yeah, there's always relationships, and relationships are fundamental. I think the biggest thing, like I said, I think that there's, whether that's a back partnership, whether that's a keeper partnership with a back line, and there's key principles in that. I think it probably comes down to the togetherness of this group, and certainly when they go out on a football field, you know, there's an element of what they know, what they need to do as a group and as a team, and that comes from a mindset and a desire, and a real importance, what they value at this present moment in time. We've got some badges on our chests that really send a big message, and they're something that we want to protect and we're proud of, really. And I think you sense that, or certainly I see that when the players go out there, really.
And how do you see a game at Southampton, who are, yes, bottom of the Premier League, but they're in the division where you want to be next season? So how much of a benchmark test maybe is it for you this weekend?
A big test for us, of course, a team that obviously came out of our division last year, added, and the quality what that brings, and it'll be another step up for us and a good marker for us. And I don't probably look at it too much like that as a test for us, what we're going to have against a very good side, and we're looking forward to that. It gives us an opportunity as well to maybe give other players an opportunity. But of course, there's a marker there, or certainly there's a tough test ahead of us. Two
teams, I guess, with different priorities. They want to stay up, you want to get up. So does a cup tie give you both the chance just to switch off a little from those league campaigns?
I think it gives you an opportunity maybe to switch off from the league, but it's a competitive game of football, and it's a competition that holds a lot of value to me as a coach, and one that we want to do very well in. We're on a current run of 18 unbeaten in all competitions, and you know, we're going into this game wanting to be ultra competitive, while also gives us an opportunity to maybe freshen things up, and like I said, to use squad a bit as well, and maybe Southampton see it the same way. I'm not sure, I can't speak for them, but fundamentally this is a competitive game. We want to go there and give the best version of ourselves.
What about your new boys? Are we likely to see them playing some sort of part this weekend?
I think there's probably there's likely that we can integrate the new players into this fixture, give them some minutes, get them up to speed, and tread carefully, because obviously they've just come in. It's always difficult, January window, players coming in have probably lacked a little bit of game time, so we need to tread carefully around that. But certainly it'd be an opportunity for us maybe to use that.
And is everything settled now? You have 15 games to go in the league campaign. You've got your squad. You know what you've got to work with. Good enough to get up?
Well, look, like always, I think window shuts in January, and it's probably, you know exactly where you are. To this point in the season, I don't know how many games, 15 left. I think we're 29 games in. And we've done incredibly well to be where we are. And from the outset, or certainly from the start of this, I expected us to be competitive. And that's what we've proven. And this young squad, this young team, with a lot of new faces in it, have probably over-exceeded where I wanted them to be. Early on in this process, probably realised that with this group that they're chomp at the bit to want to keep improving and keep getting better. So I still see plenty of improvement for us, but I also see loads of positives really. So we'll keep going, we'll keep working hard, we'll keep being tireless on the training pitch, what we have, and relentless for everything. And the real test and the real time will come at the end of this season to see whether it was enough or not. And you know, at this present moment in time, I'm pleased with us.
Away from Burnley, can I just quickly ask you about two of your old teams? Newcastle last night enjoyed a good night to get to Wembley, and Spurs, one of your other old teams, might join them. What do you think of those two teams at the moment? They both seem desperate for a trophy.
Yeah, both teams probably like that. And Newcastle get a good result, probably what's needed up there as well. So Eddie's done a fantastic job and a well worthy of a result. Takes them to a final, and the same with Spurs really. So they're probably sitting in the same position. Both done very, very well, and pleased for both of them.
You get a ticket if they both make it to the final?
Maybe.
Thank you.
On January, Scott, are you actually pleased that you didn't lose players that you didn't want to lose? You've obviously had such a good defensive record, for example. Your two centre-halves have had a great season. Are you happy you've kept the guys that you want here?
Yeah, happy we kept the players, and not many went out. The ones what probably did was ones that maybe wanted to go and get some game time. So pleased that we kept the majority of the group together. And yeah, pleased with that, Scott.
In terms of the two lads that came towards the back end of the window, Oliver and Ashley have been here a little bit longer, haven't they? But you mentioned it will take a bit of time, just getting up to speed with what you expect from them, getting up to speed with English football. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's look, you spend a 6-week pre-season as a coach coming into a new environment, and you set down some principles and some core values and some expectations of what you expect. And they've been ingrained in the team. I think they're everyone, the players who have been with us throughout the course of pre-season, and even now, the players who have been here understand that. A January window brings in new players, and at that point, you have to probably revert back a little bit and give the players coming in an understanding of what they're coming in and what's expected of them. That added to the fact that players coming in January sometimes are maybe a little bit short or have not played a lot of football. And that's what a January window brings. So the last thing I want to do is push here or push too hard, and we lose players. So we need to be careful and tread carefully with training, game minutes, while also trying to get them up to speed as quick as we can, Scott, because that's why these players are in. They're in to come and help us for the remainder part of this year, really.
A lot of chat about the clean sheets again on Tuesday, but actually at the other end of the pitch going forward, was that a really good blueprint for you, especially in that first half, as to how you want your team to play at home?
Yeah, I think it was that for sure. And I thought Tuesday night's game we was outstanding. I felt it in game. I think I've said this many a time. As a coach, you're watching things live and you're in game at certain moments, and of course you need to have a clear head, and you could try and read game. The best marker is probably after, when obviously emotions out of it and decisions are happening. My general feeling after the game was we was very, very good, and that game probably replicated the Plymouth game. Every number in the attacking sense was probably equal, or if not better. The only difference was the other night we didn't manage to score the amount of goals we did against Plymouth, and they're the fine margins sometimes in football matches. And we created some big opportunities and some good ones. We fell short in that final little bit to execute. But again, falling back onto that, another clean sheet, restricted. I don't think Oxford had a shot. This was a team coming into the game 9 unbeaten, second in the form league. It was a tough opposition for us, and I thought we dominated on every phase of our game. The only slight disappointing, it was just 1-0. But like I said, the fine margins on another night, it could have been very, very different. Me as a coach sometimes need to bring a bit of balance to that, and that's exactly what I'll do with this young team. And the real conclusion from the game is that game should have, and you keep doing what you do there, it will look a lot different.
Yeah, that's got to give you huge encouragement, especially playing at home for the rest of the season when teams sit back and let you have the ball, that you can find gaps.
Yeah, because I think it's fair to say probably early on in the process of where we were, we probably struggled a little bit in terms of really cutting teams open or creating real good opportunity. And I think we spoke about that before when we've debriefed games, even with you guys, that we probably just need to be a bit patient. We need to find movements. We need to keep working on movements to create bigger opportunities, bigger spaces for us. And like you said, I thought we did that very well, and that does encourage me. I see the work that we're doing on the training field, and I'm starting to see elements of that in game as well. So yeah, that was pleasing.
Just on the FA Cup, can you dovetail it with a promotion campaign? You feel like you can have a real crack at going quite far in the competition?
Well, that's the plan. The plan is that, like I said, the plan is to be competitive in this competition. You know, we've got a big fixture away from home against a very good side. I'd like us to take this competition and stay in it as long as we can, really. I think for everyone, for us as a group, for fan base, and us as a football club, there's nothing better than going on a really good cup run. And our ambition is to try and do that. It gives us an opportunity, like I said, to freshen things up, give other boys an opportunity as well in this competition. So hopefully we can do that, Scott.
Perfect. Good luck.
Cheers, pal.